Good morning, guys. What a difference a day makes, huh? We take a look at our scan. Remember, yesterday, this thing was full from top to bottom. And this morning, I think we've got one that kind of fits our criteria here, which is PTLA. Let's see. Let's take a look at it. See what it looks like. I had one look for my all-day hold, which was BABA, and I'm sitting here waiting on a bounce, a retest of the pre-market highs, and it dumps like 3 or 4 points. But we'll look at that in a minute. So that kind of messed up the start of my morning, because I could have just got in and held it looking for it to go, but with the way the market has been this week, I wasn't going to take any chances on it. But of course, this is the day that taking a chance would have paid off. The day trading class, one of the classes in there deals with scanning, one of the first classes. I can't remember the name of it right offhand. But the class on each strategy talks about, like, the opening range. I talk about the scanner as well. The opening range scanner, and then for the reversals, I talk about the reversal scanner. Oh, that reminds me, the password for the videos are in the process of changing. I think some have already been changed. I think the newer videos, but probably by lunchtime, or I know by the end of the day, all of them will be changed to the new password. And that email will be going out. Now, if you have canceled your subscription and you don't have an active account, you won't be getting the email. Because the way I look at it, if you cancel, that means you decided you don't want to be a part of this, so there's no point in getting the videos. So if you have an active subscription, you will be getting the email with the new password for this month. Let's see, PTLA. Okay, yesterday on the close, we kind of closed sitting on the 20-day. Yeah, it's starting to change right now. Within the last hour, I got the email, so they're starting to update. Yeah, at 2 a.m. it was still the same. All right, so we've got, we put in this pre-market high 46.20. So we're going up to test it. Now, excuse me. So my my theory on this. If we break the pre-market high, there's no, to me, there's no short trade at the open. But if it gets up here and it fails, and we pull back through the VWAP and the moving averages, then I'd be looking short at the open. But right now, it's looking like a long. So let's see if I've gotten all the pivots here. So we're not in this gap anymore. We are out of it. Yeah. S means it's shortable. T means there was a sometime recently there was a technical short on it. I mean, a halt. That means it was halted at some point. The trading was halted on it. Yeah, nothing. Let's see, FLR is next. CATK, that's a less than a million share float, less than $10. WPR, 9 million share float, $3 stock. CLWT, less than a million share float, $7. These are the type stocks I stay away from. There's a lot of people that trade these. You got a small account. There are people that say you need to trade these. You can grow your account fast. Yeah, but you can also lose it even faster. So for me, I just tend to stay away from it. I like the safer, low stress trades. I can book my money and move on. All right, so looks like Baba is setting up here for me. And we'll take a look at that here in 1 second. Let me get situated here. All right, so FLR. Well, let's do Baba real quick. So this is what I'm looking at for my all-day hold. This is the one that I'm going to be working on. All right, so what I was looking at with this, how we got the big earnings spike, and what I'm doing is I was looking for it to come back and then give us a bounce to see if we were going to come back and retest that level. I don't need this. If it was going to come back and retest this 191.95. If we did and we couldn't breach that, then it'd be time to go short. And that's when I go short and I hold it pretty much the rest of the day. So, with this, we had this little dip right here. And the good thing is we've already had conference call. So we fail this, I'm going to look to get short and hold it. Now, obviously, this is way too far for me to hold it for a retest. I'm not going to be able to do that. If I get in here, let's say at 183, I can't hold it to 191. I'm not going to do an 8-point deal on Baba. So probably it'll have to be like this 187. The high right here would have to be my risk on this, which is still a little stressful for me, but this is an all-day hold. It's like a swing trade. You got to give it some room so that you can get the bigger profits on the other end. So that's what I'm looking at on this. But you can see this was a crazy day going into earnings, which honestly would tell you that we're probably going to gap up, and we did pretty much, run up this morning. But if it can't hold, we're probably going to be coming back down into this. So we'll just keep an eye on it and see if it sets up. If it doesn't, then we move on. All right, so now let's go back to FLR. I just wanted to cover that just in case, it set up and I had to take an entry. All right, so let me see what the news is on this. It's not on earnings. The announcement on Tesla about their cobalt is mined by children. They're gonna, people that want to short this or that want it short, there's a high short interest in it. People just don't believe in the company. They're gonna put out stuff like that. They're gonna release all kind of crazy news. Tom, when we get this swing trades, I'll look at GDDY. Baba, 300 shares. I'm not as confident as I was 2 weeks ago. So 300 shares has been my sweet spot the last couple weeks, which is why we haven't made a ton of money on these, but it's been okay. My risk hasn't been overwhelming. So says May 3rd after market close. So I guess it was on earnings yesterday. So it's not on earnings this morning. Yeah, yesterday. I didn't see my whole chart here. So yesterday after market close. So we are reacting. So let's see what this is going to have to offer us. At this point, right now, it doesn't look too good. Ryan, when you get a chance, check out the 2 videos I did on Thinkorswim. They're in the members video section for the Wednesday webinars. I explain how to do that and a couple more things in there as well. So when you get time, you can check it out. So I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the lower deviation band here. We just probably around a point away from where we are now. I'd be looking for this to open up once we get some volume coming into the open. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So let's take a look at some where we are here in the grand scheme of things. Alright, so we're actually sitting on that support right now. That's a pretty defined pivot there. Looks like this is around where all the action is going to be today. So we've got some little windows, probably showing about a point. I mean, really we like to see bigger windows in this, but it is Friday. We may have to do a little bit of, maneuvering here. We may have to accept some smaller windows to trade in, and that's fine. Here we just made a new pre-market low. But what's really frustrating are these stocks that make the move pre-market and don't allow us to get in. So we have to wait and see what this is going to do. At the open, but it's worth putting on our watch list. So we'll be watching PTLA so far, FLR, and of course volume is going to be the key on all of these. Volume will be the key. Without volume, there won't be any trades for me. All right, so that's, we've gone through, we've looked at the two on our main scan here that really meet our criteria for trading. And yeah, the reason why I have these on here is because we do have some traders that like to trade the small cap, low dollar, low float stocks. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you like. I talk garbage about it because I don't like it. But that's not to say it's not good to trade. Some people really love that. They love the fast paced, fast moving stuff. I guess you can explain it like the two types of environments here in the States. You've got people that live down south like me who like things slow and easy. And then you have those people that live up north that they live in the fast lane. They like things fast. New York never sleeps. It's open 24/7. So, that's probably the best way that I can explain it. All right, so let's take a look at, since we don't have really a full watch list, we'll go through and look at our big gapper scan like we normally, we only do this when I don't really have a big watch list up here. So we've got PTLA. So all we're doing is scanning for volume and looking at the stocks to see if they meet our criteria. Got to be over $20. Got to be over 50 million share float. So just quickly scan, because if it doesn't have 50,000 shares of volume, there's no reason for me to even look at it. No. And we got this on watch. Okay, this is a little bit higher price stock. So, we don't know. We'll see about that. So it looks like that's going to be it. Slow morning. Slow morning. So we got two stocks on watch for day trading, PTLA and FLR. So Baba, I just put down my entry on Baba in the swing trade chat tab, so we'll take a look at it real quick. And again, this is for an all-day hold. I'm looking for this to sell off. Let me All right, so like I said, my stop on this is gonna be the high of this candle, which is like 180. What's like 187? This thing is starting to act up again. Which is around in here. Yeah, 187. So got to give it enough room just in case. Not giving it the amount of room that I was giving Tesla the last couple of days. Don't want to do that. I don't think this one is going to, really be that huge of a it's going to give you the tight swings that Tesla does. So we're on our first test here. It's got to get below this 100-day. It's got to get below this 100-day. Got to get below. Here's a pre-market low here. Which, honestly would be my first target. But what's been happening is I've been taking things off a little bit too early. So I've been booking profit, but then it's turning around and stopping me back out at break even. And then I'm having to get back in. And I don't want to do that. So I'm trying to tweak that too, to try and give myself a little bit more of a profit window. And what I've been looking at is like 1-to-1 in terms of my first target. And then my final target is going to be, wherever that big final target window is going to be. Let me see. I can set the stop pre-market, so I set the stop at open. Putting the stop in pre-market doesn't work. Oh yeah, real nice. Real nice. Yes, I'm already in this on the swing trade chat tab. Every all day hold, it's gonna be a swing trade deal because the risk is gonna be swing trade risk. So that's where I'm posting it. You can't trade this in a small account. You just can't give it the room that this thing needs. So I will not be, alerting this in a day trade account. Okay, 179.32. That's going to be my first target on this. And yeah, you can put your first target out. Pre-market. So let me type that in. And I think that's giving it enough room. If we can get there. But remember, you can't watch these tick for tick. You set them and you forget them. That's what you got to do. All right, so let me bring this back up. Tom, I haven't forgot about GoDaddy. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Let me bring this up real quick for you, so you can see what I see. Documents. There it goes. AJT desk. All right, here we go. Just so you can get an idea of where we are at with this. All right, so my target's gonna be right here. Let's see, 179.32. Close enough. That's gonna be my first target. We'll see if we can get there before we get that bounce at the open. 179.32 is a daily pivot. That's where it came from. Maybe, now that I look at this, I'm about to make another critical mistake here. Really, it should be right here. Honestly, I don't want to make that mistake again. Should be on the pre-market low, which is 179.95. So I need to change that, guys. 179.95. About to make that same mistake again. 179.95. All right. So that's where we're at on this. We're going to wait. See if we get our first target hit on it. Maybe we won't get. Maybe we won't get hit it and then get stopped out. Okay. So we'll see if we're going to get there. Place it 2 cents higher. Yeah, I revised the target based on, excuse me, based on the pre-market low. This is kind of where it's been bouncing before, so I didn't want to miss out on it. Yeah, so we're getting close. We're playing with it. But so we're getting close. All right, so let's see. We had Tom asked about GoDaddy here. All right, Tom. Now, it is setting up. Remember, this is our 52-week high swing setup where we make the 52-week high and we look for the pullback for a couple of days. What we want to do is we want to see it build up strength. You can take it on a pullback and hold at a 20. That allows you to get in a little bit earlier ahead of the push so that if it doesn't break through, you can still take it off for profit. You know, you still have that opportunity to do that. So, yeah, it is setting up. So we just have to wait and see today if we're going to, I need to change this to the new high. Yeah, so yeah, that is setting up. So I don't know what happened to my time in sales. Oh, it's got disappeared here. All right, so we'll let this run about 5 more minutes. Oh, great. Don't tell me speed traders having order issues. I guess they are. But it worked in my favor this time. Yeah, I picked up what, 55 extra cents on this. What message? No, they didn't send a message out. My market order didn't get hit. No, I didn't have a market order. That was a limit order. It didn't get hit at 95. I guess it skipped it, but the order. Remember the order that we had up here? So I can't put my I can't put my I can't put my stop in just yet, because the stops aren't going to work pre-market. That's definitely not going to work pre-market. Save as. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. The pre-market action was looking bullish. Yeah, I can stick it out here now. 183. And the target is 175. I know what I messed up on. I should have put ARCA. I forgot. I forgot to put ARCA. And that's my target there. Alright, so let's get ready for our open here. Man, Tesla has sold off pretty big today. But I'm not messing with it today. No Tesla today. So I think on both of these stocks, PTLA, $43.26. I think on both of these, this is looking bullish. Still looks bullish right now. We held a moving average. This is close enough. So it does look like you're going to get a all right. So again, going into the open, this one does look bullish. You can see everything's trending up. We are above all the moving averages and everything. So at this point, it does look that way, but you just don't know. That's why you have to wait. You got to give it time at the open so that it can make its move.
PTLA.
Look at that. See what I'm saying? This is exactly why you can't really put in that big bias ahead of time, because you just don't know what this thing's gonna do. You have no idea. So you gotta wait for it. So we got another pivot there.
TLA. PTLA.
1 at 38.50. One in there. But PTLA is on margin restriction at Sure Trader. So whenever they put something on margin restriction, you got to be very, very, very careful with it. Very, 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 very careful. uncover the scans over here. We can all right, so FLR here, the spread is really wicked on this. Spread is really wicked on this. Why is this thing taking 2 hours to change? All right. What can I explain why? What's the question? When when Share Trader puts a stock on margin restriction, that means it's very volatile. And when a stock is very volatile, that's when you really need to be careful with it. Because that means it can trade like these low dollar, low float runners and just take off on you. So typically when a stock is on that high volatility list, I drop it like a bad habit. You know, I don't like to get involved or mixed up in those. All right, so we want to see this close below the so I want to see this close below the 5-minute opening range low so that we could get in. No, PTLA I am not messing with. That's one of the rules that I have. If it ends up on a high volatility list, I typically leave it alone. I mean, if I trade it, it would only be with like 100 shares or something. And I don't know if it would be worth it at that point. Yeah, the spread has gotten a little bit better here on FLR. So we got the close below it. Let's see if we're going to confirm it. You got to be patient on these things. You can't jump in hoping that it's going to do what you want it to do. You see we're starting to bounce here on the 2 minute. This is the third candle making a higher low. So, even though we're still trading below the 5 minute opening range low,
ESPR.
we still don't know what this is going to do just yet. Still got to be careful with this. $200. Yeah, I haven't changed my mind on it. Just doing 200 shares on this because this one is moving pretty volatile as well. It's not as bad, but I mark it in what? Yeah, I mark it in. And it's easy for me to do that. I mark it in, I mark it out. When you're trading a stock that the spreads are relatively tight on and it's not jumping around, there's no problem marketing in and out. But when you're in a trade and the price is jumping 10, 15 cents in a split second, then yeah, you're going to have trouble doing it. I take ORB plays when the setup is there. There's no ORB setup right now. I'm waiting for it to complete, but I've taken it one just about every day this week. Yeah, I put limit orders in for my profit targets. Yeah, you got to wait for confirmation. I explain it every day in my recap videos. And every day that we're in here looking at a trade opportunity such as this, we wait for confirmation. We got the close below, but I need this to confirm that we're moving. It's not confirming that we're holding below this. So, no, I can't take the trade until we get some type of confirmation. You know, the only way this works, the only way you can really grow your small account is through discipline. If you become undisciplined and start taking chances and trying to catch a move early so you can make that extra buck, you're going to end up losing.
AAPL.
And that's why, I tell you, you got to take what everybody else is posting with a grain of salt. You see people post stuff on Twitter, normally it's after the fact. And, that doesn't do you any good. What you gotta work on is watching and knowing when to get in the heat of the battle. If it's an oversold territory, I like to get it to bounce. For me, oversold is less than 20. So if it's less than 20, I'm not going to get in. I'm going to always wait for a bounce. And see, this FLR, this is a perfect example as to why you just can't get in. You got to wait for confirmation. This never confirmed an entry, so you don't enter. Had you entered, you'd be stopped out.
PRC.
So most often, the best lessons are learned when you don't take a trade.
SPR. PRC.
Oh boy.
UPL. ESPR.
ESPR is popping on scanners today. It was hot yesterday. Now it's on the top reversal scanner. Yesterday it was on sell-off mode. It's rejecting, it's trying to reject at the 100, but it's just a lot of traffic up under it.
CRC.
So I'd sit, we just sit back. This is the first,
Shack.
probably the first morning this week. We've had to sit back and wait.
Back.
Now you got everybody that's on the all day hold. The all day hold train. Baba is working out pretty much according to plan. And remember, we managed that on a 60-minute chart. We're not managing it on a 5-minute. Once we get in, it's all 60-minute chart. That's it.
Back.
Okay, so the average range on these candles going in is about 75, 80 cents. So going into this trade, you're probably going to have to give it,
PRC.
I would say, between 85 cents and a point. So that will change my that can change my position size. It can definitely change my position size and force me to trade a smaller position size. Maybe 150 shares if I take this. Because going in 200 shares and me giving it a point, that's a $200 that's a $200 risk.
Shack.
That's way too much. So the most I can risk is $100. So I could get in with 200 shares and give it 50 cents and hope the candle doesn't put in the range that it normally does. Or I can go in with smaller size, give it the range that it needs. And then once it works, you can add to it and get in full size. And you should have a better opportunity for a stop. Fernando, the confirmation is you get one candle to close below, and you want the next candle to establish below the 5-minute opening range and trade lower. Once it ticks lower, that's my confirmation to get in. So on a tick lower, I'm in the trade. We just didn't get that. So here we would need this to close below the 5 minute opening range, which we got what, 10 more seconds left. And then the next candle to open and go lower, and then I could get in, but only getting in with 100 shares. All right, so that's the trigger. It's on short sale restrictions, so my order's probably going to sit out here for a minute until we get an uptick. If I don't get in, we just missed out. But it did trigger an entry. I only got partial fill finally. I'm filled at 46.69. So a little bit off the beaten path, but only in 100 shares. Remember, we've got to give this some room.
ERC.
We need to make a new low though. The low is 46.42, so we definitely need to make a new low on this push down. It's having some trouble. Yeah, we got somebody fighting this thing. Fighting it tooth and nail. Well, I really want to see it get through 46.13. 46, I would think will probably be where we have some trouble. But I want this thing, if we can't close below this candle, if we can't turn around, if we just start going back up on the 2 minute and we start chopping around, there's no reason to really stay in this trade. We are trending down, but it's very jumpy. All right, so we're gonna let this candle close. See where And my stop is going to be based on the close of this candle here. I don't know what's going on with level 2 today. It's getting stuck for some reason. So let's see, what did this candle close at? So my stop is going in at 47.25. And that's based on this previous candle. This is going to tell me whether it's going to work or not. And see, even though we sit here and we wait and we're patient and we give it time, doesn't always mean that it's going to work or that it's going to work in the time frame that we want it to work. The market is its own living, breathing entity. All we can do is let it kind of tell us which way the winds are blowing. And, we hitch our sail to the wind. But, sometimes the wind changes direction at the drop of a dime. There's nothing we can do about it. I don't know if the market likes that song. Sometimes it fusses about it. I think I'm having internet issues here. Come on. Come on. It's gotta. The market may not like that song much. We'll see. Tell it to dip. Let's try it again.
MTCH.
And the bad thing is we do have a doggone pivot here at 46.50. I didn't think we were going to. I didn't think we were going to. I felt we would be through this and making a move by the time we got there. But we slowed way down. We slowed way, way, way down. Yep, gotta have them on standby.
Check. MTCH.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get it through 46. That would be good. But PTLA is working out pretty good. It's kind of giving you the same slow breakdown. Yeah, so this one is gonna be it's gonna take a long time if it's gonna work. Just one of those mornings where we just don't have anything that has a lot of volatility, enough to really move it decently. this is moving like a billion share float stock. So we'll just sit back and wait and watch this and see what we get. But just to kind of update you on I'll probably check this back out after lunch. It's taking a long time to get itself together, that's for sure. It keeps throwing. I don't know why it does that. So remember, we're watching this. If you're going to watch this, you want to watch this on a 60-minute chart. You don't want to watch this on a daily chart. And what we're seeing here is, it's pretty evident. We're seeing a trend. We're bouncing. But this isn't all day hold. It may not hold all day. It may not reject here and pull back. We may get to stop out at break even. This is why we take profit. We have our first target, which was, you see it hit right here on the 100-day. Almost to the pennies where we took profit here. And so we're trying to bounce. And what I would want to see is this bounce to make a lower low relative to this bounce. Really, we want it to stay red on the day. We want it to stay under the VWAP and all of this. So if I come back at lunch and this thing is still grinding like this, then that's when I'll take it off. So I won't even look at this again until lunchtime. Yeah, once the first target is hit, we set it to break even. So if we get a spike, worst case scenario, we locked in the profit that we booked already, which is pretty decent. This is pretty much what's been happening every day this week. And, at a minimum, we want to take profit so that if it doesn't work, we still put money in the bank. It's the name of the game. It's not sitting here holding it just to see how much we can squeeze out of it. This is a business. We got to take profit, and it's what we got to do. So we will take it and we will move on. So that's where we're going to be with that. And this doesn't look like it wants to do anything. So we just have to, we got this bounce back. We're still trending down. So as long as we're still in this trend, I just don't know how much this is going to go. You know, if we do lose it. It doesn't look good at all. So, but as long as it's in play, we leave it on. It's Friday. We don't have anything else to trade. We definitely don't want to go chasing stuff. So if we're going to lose on a trade, why not lose on the setup that we were looking for to start with? And, you know, call it a day. If we get some, let's say if we get some breaking news or something that gives us an opportunity, we'll take it. But if not, we'll take our gains from the week into the weekend. Next week's a new week. So we'll see what we do here going into lunch. And then we'll just take it from there.